Welcome back into the Daniel Federico show. That's Nick Taggio. I'm Daniel Federico. We have a couple topics today. Don't know if we're going to get to them, but the first one that we really are going to be talking about is Italy losing to Bosnia and Gianluca Frangipane, a young football player that is trying to chase his dreams of playing D1 football, joins us later on. But this is the Daniel Federico show, so let's get into it. Tough loss for the Italians. Third straight World Cup that they miss out on. They will not be qualifying for this year's World Cup as they've lost in penalty kicks to Bosnia. 4-1 in penalty kicks.
Hmm.
Nick, you were really upset. Everyone is upset of Italy not making it to their third straight World Cup. Last time Italy made it to the World Cup, Buffon was still the goalkeeper for the Italians. It just was not their day. Bosnia was all over them at all times. But when that red card came out, that was when you kind of could have seen Italy's life just flash before their eyes. They were not the same team. But I really want to hear your thoughts on this. You could go on as long as you want because I know you're super upset about this, especially how they messed up a fantastic game that Donnarumma played. Donnarumma, I have
So
to say, that was probably one of his best games that he's played in a while. Is that fair to say? I want to say within probably this season, that was for sure his best season. I'm pretty sure he had a great outing last year for the club side, but I think the whole entire season, today was Donnarumma's greatest match that he's played, and he wanted it, but it didn't seem like the other Italians want it. Nick, what is your thoughts about today's game? And then I'm going to ask you later on who is your team, as we talked about on Monday, on Monday's show, that you're going to be picking a team that you're going to be rooting for when the World Cup comes around. But what is overall your thoughts about this game, their style of play, and all?
just yeah, heartbroken. I'm pissed actually. I'm really upset. I was really hoping. I was 11 years old last time I've seen Italy play in a World Cup game back in 2014 in Brazil. The last game the Italians played in the World Cup was when Luis Suarez bit Giorgio Chiellini on the shoulder.
Yeah.
That was a long, long time ago. And since then, we had the Sweden heartbreak of 2018 where we missed Russia, and then North Macedonia where we missed Qatar 2022. Somehow we find a way to win a freaking European tournament
Yeah,
in,
right in the
you know,
middle of that, eh? And that's when everyone was like, Italy is back because we all had high hopes for Federico Chiesa. We thought he was going to be a breakout star just like he was in the Euros, and look how that shattered. That shattered you ginormously. Hopefully he can get back into form, but it's really not looking good. But it also that was like the perfect send off for a lot of Italian legends like Chiellini, and others. But now this new era of the national team, they're I'm gonna say it. Italy plays weak. I think it's safe to say. Um, I think it's a style of soccer that they're playing. It is weak. It's beyond weak. It's soft soccer. Italians, everyone's here heard it. Italians are known for flopping like a fish and selling penalties and selling that type of stuff, acting on the pitch. But the style of play today was so weak. It was ridiculous.
yeah.
Ridiculous. No momentum. They only had 6 attempts on target. Moise Ken got a goal for the Italians, but then they subbed him off. They could have really used him in the extras. It was all over the place by the manager and all. And don't even start with his tactics, his style of play. It is weak. I've been saying this for a long time that his style of play is weak. I do like the five in the mid, but When the red card came on Bastoni, that kind of changed up the whole play. But they went
Yeah.
extra soft, and it was just ridiculous. But what's your thoughts? Sorry.
Well, no worries. I just like it just deflated them at the end. You could see like right after the red card, and you could see even on the TV replay, like Bastoni goes in for the tackle, and then the Bosnian player, I forget who was fouled, he goes down as well. But then you just see Bastoni's face, and then he just starts smiling, and you can tell like he knew the red card was coming. Even the announcer said he knew the red card was coming. Whether it was justified or not, I'm not exactly sure.
Let's go. Let's go into that in a second.
Well,
I think that there was a similar challenge that happened in extras on the Wozniak player. The
yeah, it's on Palestra.
and they got a yellow for that.
Yeah, that
This
was
similar play to Bastoni, and he got a red. That should have been that should have been a yellow too. I think that was a very weak challenge. I know but he did miss the ball by a huge amount. But come on, in a final like this, winner goes to the World Cup. You gotta let some stuff go.
yeah, he's had like a pretty rough few months too because he plays for Inter and Inter of course crashed out of the Champions League and he's had a couple of like notifiable errors in games just for his club and then this time around like it's hard because yes, there was another instance later on the game where Palestra had a chance to score. He was running clear on goal, and then he was brought down from behind, just like around the semicircle, I want to say. And then Bastoni kind of brought down his opponent right around the same area, but Bastoni obviously got the red card. Palestra's opponent got the yellow. I can see from a referee standpoint why you give Bastoni the red. I do see it. But given the exact same fashion in which the other foul happened, it does kind of bring into question why Bastoni got a red card, in my opinion. But like from a referee standpoint, I do see how he gave him that red just because it was from behind.
Yeah.
He didn't get any or really minimal ball on the challenge.
The ball was way gone. So yeah, but I was just thinking comparing the two, if we're gonna call a fair game here, both should get a red at least then.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're going to call one red, you have to call the other a red, or you have to at least, or Bastoni gets a yellow, and then the other player gets a yellow. I just think
Right.
after that, though, like the Italians, they mustered up chances. They created a few chances where they were whipping in crosses. I texted you during the game. I said before Bosnia really started to hammer on the pressure, because there was like a solid 60-minute stretch where it was all Bosnia possession and they were just creating chances on goal. And Donnarumma was making these superstar saves. But I texted you, I say, the Italians, they look a lot more versatile and open in attack than they did in the first game. Where if you go back and watch the highlights for the first game, it's just a lot of whipping in crosses. It's a very old school English style of play, just whipping in crosses and trying to catch a forward on the run so he's able to put the ball in the back of the net. But I said to you at the end of last game, and it's something that I still feel like they should have done this game, is started Esposito at striker because they play their dual strikers. I don't mind Ken. He does irritate me sometimes. I think he got tired towards the end, and that's why they took him off. But Retegui didn't do anything, and
Nothing.
pretty stationary. He's not very mobile. And I know people like I'm very happy that social media isn't getting on Esposito because number one, he is 19 and he did sky the penalty. But number one, he's 19. Like he's 19 years old, and as soon as he got on the pitch, he was creating chances. Do you remember the header? He almost headed in a ball towards the far post on a corner. I want to say, I don't know, roughly like the 75th, 80th minute, like around that range. He just came on and then he was creating chances. And then they made their meaningful substitutions. They brought on Palestra. I like how they brought on Spinazzola, the old guy from Napoli. He
Yep.
played well too. It's just there's no the quality of attackers for the Italians is just not what the other nations, especially the other top flight European nations, it's not up to that par. I think our defense for all that happened today, they held up. Bosnia probably should have had another goal or two in regulation.
Any other country, that is a 3-1 win for the opposing country today.
Yeah, exactly. Did you not think, especially even when Bastoni was on, the defense looked amazing. But even like when Bastoni went off on the red card, like you saw Locatelli, especially as a center midfielder. He was dropping back to help in defense, and
And
they
that's
were
what you like to see. That is what you love
yeah,
to see. That could have been the style of play, but I really like how Calafiori played today.
exactly love
I
Calafiori. I have one player that I'm mad at that they took off early, and that's Nicolo Barella because he was creating so many chances from that mid, and they put him out towards the right midfield. DeMarco was on the left. And DeMarco, you could say whatever you want to say. He's going to win Serie A Player of the Year because he has assisted so many balls.
I
But
hate it. I know you like Spinazzola coming on, but I hate how they took Federico DeMarco off.
I don't like that either. But I do see why they did because DeMarco one-on-one is a bad defender. He's not a good
That is true.
defender.
Going into extras, you don't want that. But I really think that if you are going to extras, you got to have that thought in your brain that this thing could go to penalties.
Yeah.
Um, and you just need to risk it. And I think that's what they did in the Euros, and they did that terrifically in the Euros. But the last two qualifiers, they it seemed like the risk just went out the window. They go, no, we're playing this safe. It's like they're playing down to the competition of Bosnia because on paper, this team is disgusting. Minus, I would say, up front. I don't really like the up front. I've said this a lot. I like Moise Kean to an extent. He's
Yeah.
scored in every single appearance that he's had for the Italians. What was it, 13 straight goals in
Yeah.
13 straight games? I like him to an extent. He's not consistent all the time. And I think if you're going to play on such a ginormous stage, like on the national side and the national team playing for your country, you're going to have to be the consistent. You're basically the best of the Italians. You need to play consistent. And I don't think he's played consistent. I want to say though, he did play good today. He did play fantastic
Yeah,
today.
he did. He
But
did.
on paper, DeMarco, Tonali, Locatelli, Borelli, our midfield, beautiful on paper.
Yeah.
Calafiori too. I really like him. Big fan of him. And Bastoni too. It just sucks that he got the red card.
Yeah.
And at the same time, and Mancini, like great. That's
Mancini
so,
was great.
yeah. Just solid team on paper and solid playing. Donnarumma really had to save them. So now I think. Okay, the five in the midfield I like a lot. But now I think it's gonna have to be you're gonna have to play four in the back. If this is gonna be a similar team
Mhm.
throughout the next qualifier, and now when Euros come in the next 2 years, I think you're gonna have to go now on a consistent basis with four in the back. Just you're
Yeah,
just gonna
either
have to at this point.
I
That's what
was
it's
gonna
kind of gonna
say
seem like.
I was gonna say either four in the back or three in the back, three in mid, or three in the back, four in mid, and then three attackers, and just make it like I would do. Okay, like just to like this is gonna be hard. Like try to picture this, ladies and gentlemen, if you can. But like on paper, you have your attack. Ideally for me, and I
Like,
don't
are you saying one center forward and
one
two
center
wingers?
forward, two wingers,
Yeah,
and then four midfielders, and then I would go as such. I would have my striker. I would start Ken and then bring Esposito on to save so I could conserve his young energy.
yeah.
I would push DeMarco up to the left wing. I would have Politano on the right wing, and then my midfield would consist of Barella, Locatelli. I would throw Fratesi in there to start, even though
I
he
like
came
that.
on later. Um, and then I would have, man, I just had his name in my mind. Oh my goodness. I would put a Spinazzola type player in there and then have my back three stay Calafiori, um, Bastoni,
Bastoni
and
and
then
Mans.
Mancini.
I like that. That's actually pretty good. I like that. But I just think that they're so lackluster on putting pressure on that I in my mindset would be put more on the back because even when before Bastoni went down today with the red card and at exit the game, the pressure still wasn't on there in their own defensive end. I think they're basically like a waiting game. They're a pretty patient team. It feels like when they're defending they're just letting the play develop. Like they're letting Bosnia develop the play today. It seemed
Mhm.
like, and that's why they're creating so many chances. Bosnia and Donnarumma, like so lucky that this country has went from Buffon to Donnarumma.
Yeah.
Literally, Buffon's literally to Buffon 2.0. And
Yeah.
I would like to say Donnarumma's a little bit more athletic too, so it's perfect. It just
Yeah.
sucks that we're not going to see him in a World Cup. We're probably never going to see him in a World Cup. It feels like. Obviously, hopefully they make it
We
the
probably
next one,
will,
but
but he will be
it's going
like
to be
30.
nothing. Yeah, he'll be. Yeah,
He's
it's going to be really tough.
he's yeah.
Um, and the thing that just drives me crazy too about this game today was when they were getting possession of the rock of the ball. I'm going to say the rock a lot. That's how I just talk sports. When they got possessions of the ball, giveaway easily. Like they couldn't muster up anything. That's great. Let's give the props to Bosnia.
Yeah.
Let's give ginormous props to Bosnia's international team or national team, sorry. They played a terrific game today. They played their game. But Italy didn't try to stop them from playing their game. Italy just let them play Bosnia's game and just it was everything was patient. Bosnia was allowed to be patient today with the ball, with the attack, and Italy had no. At times they looked slow out there. They looked sluggish out there. It was an embarrassing effort for Italy today, and it's super embarrassing that this team has now missed three straight World Cups. And this time it hurts even more because it's going to be played in Canada and the United States and Mexico, where a lot of Italians are in Ontario, a lot of Italians are in Toronto, Niagara Falls, Hamilton, a lot, and they could have gone, and most likely maybe not because the tickets are going to be skyrocketed, but maybe there's a lot of Italians out there that would have still gone and watched the Italian national team play against Canada. That would have been a tremendous match to go and watch and spectate, and that would just been a great match overall. If Canada was healthy, and it hurts the most too is that there was so much promise in the air once they won the Euros in 2021. And then now it's just an absolute debacle because then the second Euros after they won it was embarrassing effort. And then now the World Cup qualifiers at times this Italy team looked good. They're like, "Oh, we're back. Italy might be back in the qualifiers." And then they put up an effort like this, and I just think that when you're such a big nation and soccer is like, your main sport, it's just stunts to me. It feels like if Canada sport wasn't their number one sport is hockey. Our number one sport is hockey in Canada, and it's like that if hockey got taken away, if hockey didn't become their number one sport anymore. Now with Italy, got to ask you this before we go on to the Gianluca interview, and we're gonna continue this conversation after the Gianluca interview. But I'm gonna ask you this first. Where do you think the direction goes for the Italian national team? Do you think now with the friendlies that are going to come up now in a year or so, do you think you're going to see a lot of young talent come and be a part of this squad? Like basically every single friendly now is going to be a tryout. And hopefully just develop the young players now. Like I think they're gonna have to reboot the whole system and get the young players a part of it ASAP. What do you think they're going to do in the future?
I think they need to go in a new direction with coach. I think when they let go of Spalletti, everyone was like holding their breath, thinking that they were going to get like a big fish out there. And I think in the most ideal world, it would have been if they were somehow able to hire Carlo Ancelotti before he became the head coach of the Brazilian national team. Um, but the reality I think is a lot of coaches looked at this situation and they saw it for what it truly was, which is it's a big project to fix. And it's probably going to go down as one of the biggest anomalies in soccer history where you have a four-time World Cup champion tied for second most among all-time World Cup wins, miss three straight tournaments. I think Italy being Italy has a bit more promise just because they're so passionate about the sport over there. Like they're very rabid about it, where there is going to be young talent, and I do think that getting the young guys that saw minimal time in these two friendlies in the lead up to this World Cup, getting them into their peak form, consistent peak form, and then playing them consistently, like Esposito. Palestra. There's a young guy playing for Napoli named Antonio Vergara, who's a very
Yep.
nice player as well. Getting that, and then also riding out the careers of your DeMarcos, your Tenalis, your Barellas, Politanos, guys who can still give you quality play even as they
Locatelli.
age. And Locatelli and Tenali's the guy I was forgetting about. So to real quick to wrap it up, I would have Moise Kean as my center forward slash striker. My wingers would be Politano on the right, DiMarco on the left. Center field, I would have on the right side. I would have Barella, Locatelli, Tonali in the middle, and then on the left, I would have Fratesi, and then a back three of Calafiori, Bastoni, and Mancini. Obviously, Donnarumma in
I
goal.
like that, but I do think they're done with the five. I think the 3-5-2.
I think they are. I think on paper, like you said earlier on, I truly think that they are one of the best midfields in the world. You can compare them to just about any other strong midfield core, and they, I think, would match up with your Englands, your Spains, obviously, your Germanys. But yeah, I think there should be more of a focus on not detracting away from the defensive identity that we have, where we produce these world-class defenders.
Need to get them better though. Need to get it better. Need to get
And
better.
yeah, in this day and age where defenders are playing a big role in attack, I think that you should take from that and then put more onus on developing your attacking talent, in particular your forwards, because we haven't had a superstar Italian striker that since Chiesa, and before that it was
Yeah.
Balotelli, and before that it was Totti. And even in history, they don't really, like they're not like a dime a dozen. Like
Yeah, they don't really pan out as much except Totti. He was tremendous. Chiesa really thought he was the second coming of it. Balotelli's time was really short.
Totti
Um, yeah, Totti was the best out of all
was
of
the
them. You agree?
best.
Yeah, he
Him
was the
and
best, but like
Rossi.
we haven't seen a consistent great striker since Totti, and I honestly don't know when we're gonna see it. Keane, like I would say, when he plays consistent, when he plays good, he plays at a high level, a fantastic level, and I think fans are in love with him because of that. And yeah, it's pretty easy to fall in love with him because he scores. He's a goal scorer. But when what he's doing without the ball sucks. And sometimes when he is with the ball, if you can give him a clear-cut shot to score, he'll do it. But if he has to dribble a little bit, you got to hold your breath, man. You got to hold your breath when Moise Kean trying to dribble because sometimes his touches go. It's just ridiculous to play. But it's very tough. We're gonna continue this conversation, but we're gonna jump to an interview that we recorded yesterday. Even though I'm in the same hoodie, it is what it is. Um, we recorded yesterday. John Luca is a terrific young man, and a great football player, great athlete. So here's the John Luca interview. We're welcoming in a football player. We usually haven't done any interviews in a long time, but this is a special one. A very talented athlete, John Luca Frangipane, will be joining the show. And John Luca, thank you for coming on. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm just gonna say thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for taking your time and inviting me to this. I really appreciate you guys. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic. Nick, how are
Great,
you doing
brother.
today? Yeah, you doing good today, Nick?
I'm doing.
Hey, I was excited for this when I woke up. So like, this is it, man. This is it.
Me too. I
Nick,
was pumped. I was pumped, man.
that's good. We like it when you're pumped up. We like it when everyone's pumped up. This is a high
Yeah.
energy show. Nick, you could start it off.
Yeah, so just for a bit of background, I first found out about John Luca when Daniel and I both call high school football games, well, high school sports in general, I should just say, for a volunteer organization called Cable 14 in my hometown of Hamilton. Daniel lives in Niagara, but we both work for the same organization. And I called a few of John Luca's high school football games for his first high school, Bishop Tonus. And I even called a basketball game where you weren't playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what was going on there?
Um, it was just going on that like I didn't feel up to like part like
Yeah,
with
yeah.
like my training and all that. Like I was just a little behind and I didn't want to take a little risk of playing because when you're not feeling up to par, if you go out there, you might hurt something and your career is over.
And you know what? He's smart
Yeah.
for doing that, ladies and gentlemen. That is,
That's
you don't go out there and you don't like battle like a glad. That's a movie thing, all right? You
Yeah.
conserve your health and you play when you feel like you can play, all right?
Hey,
Yeah.
that's a professional mindset right there already at this young age. Gianluca is 16 years old, a class of 2028. He's a sophomore right now over in the States, but he started playing in Hamilton. But my first question is going to be for you,
Yes,
Gianluca,
sir.
is who got you started in this great game of football?
Got me started. Ooh, there's a lot of names, but I have to say my Uncle Joe, my Zio Joe, for all you Italians. Um, Even my coach, Coach Bell from Golden Bell Academy, played in the CFL. Great guy, I love him. But my uncle really helped me start this journey because he's like, you know what? The one thing in football and in life you can get in trouble for hitting somebody, but in football, you won't get in trouble. They'll just pat you and say, "Good hit." That's what we stay.
That's why football is such a fantastic sport, and it's
Yes.
amazing. And is he your number one supporter that you're in really contact with to get you through the ropes right now of playing football in the States and keeping your mindset sharp when you're going on these visits?
Yeah. I'd have to say, like everybody knows, like I'm a mama's boy. My mom's my biggest fan. I have to say, she keeps me in line. Even my dad too, but for all the Italian boys and all the mama's boys, it got to be the mom, number one. But
That's
yeah,
great right there. What age did you start playing football?
I started at 14. Yeah,
Oh
so it's been
wow.
like around
So
two
what
years.
was that?
Yeah,
Must have
Wow.
been what was that? Grade going into high school or grade eight, grade
going
nine?
into high school. Yeah,
And what were you with the Hamilton Junior Ticats?
no, I didn't play any club. I just went right to BT. I came right off of the plane of Italy, and I came to play. So
That's
So
pretty
so
sweet.
what was your first sport, if you don't mind me
my
asking?
first sport, everybody knows the Timbit soccer, but my first sport would have to be baseball, though. That's my true love.
Really?
And are you also playing baseball over there at your new school, Asheville? Is that how you pronounce that school?
Yeah, yes. I am playing baseball. Yeah, I love it.
How's this been season been going? Has it kicked off yet? It has to, right? You guys are
Yeah,
coming
it
down to the
kicked
stretch,
off.
right? You guys are coming to the
Yeah,
end of your school year.
yeah. We ended in like the last week of May,
Oh
so
wow.
we've been locked in. Yeah, we've been dialed.
Oh.
Yeah, the season's good. I know our game got canceled, unfortunately, but we play on Thursday against a school in the States that's well known, Raven Gap. They're a
Is
big
that
school.
Georgia?
Yeah, that's Georgia.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think a few football guys from Hamilton, or at least
Yeah,
one of them is at Raven Gap, I
Arian.
believe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Darian, yeah.
Darren. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you travel, is it national where you travel all across the states, or is it mostly
Um,
interstate
yeah.
play?
Yeah, it's mostly interstate, but like for baseball, like I don't know, I've been on the team for like a couple months now, but we would probably have to like this game we're going to Georgia, but it's just like we stay in the local area because we don't play no national schedule. It's just like local, yeah.
What is your position?
What am I? I play catcher. I play outfield, mostly right field, and I play a little bit of first base.
Who do you look up to in the MLB?
In MLB, not anybody right now, but I have to say, like I always had this mindset. It was always as soon as I got on base, I'm Ricky Henderson.
Okay.
That is so sweet.
That's
Oh my
unreal.
goodness.
Yeah,
But
So sweet.
let's forget about this baseball talk. Your main
yeah,
sport is football, right? That's what you're going to go to
football.
college for. That's what you're hopefully
Yes, sir.
going to go to the pros for. You play you play two positions. You're on the offense and
Yeah,
defense. And I was looking at your
yeah.
tape. You're also a special team demon, and that's a good
Hmm.
way to start knowing because you can crack any roster if you're just really
Yeah.
good at special teams. But for people that don't know, he's a running back and a linebacker.
Mhm.
what is are you going in as this college profile as an athlete, or are you going in strictly as a running back?
I mean, whatever college can take me as an athlete or a running back, but mostly I play running back. That's where my heart's at.
That's sweet. Nick, you got anything?
Yeah, so like as a running back, and I've seen you play before, so like I
Mhm.
know exactly what you bring to the
Yeah.
table. Who exactly would you say you model yourself after? If there is like a pro or a college player out there, like in the past or present, who would you say that maybe you try to model your game after, or you would just like equate yourself to?
Well, we all walk in a mindset to be like Emmett Smith, but like right now in this game, probably Cam Scadaboo because I like the way he runs and how physical he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
would you say you're an aggressive running back eating those holes?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very aggressive and I eat the holes.
You like the
And also
contact.
I like the contact because, what my uncle said, you can't get in trouble from hitting somebody in football, so you got to take it all the way.
Yeah, I was when I was watching your highlights, I really like the style that you run. You run hungry, and
Yeah.
that's what you want. But I gotta ask you this: what has been the transition to Canadian football? That's what you play
Yeah.
in Canada here,
hmm
to playing in the American style of game.
Well, I have to say, Canadian football is very different, which you guys know, the three downs. You can waggle up to the line of scrimmage, which, you can't do that in the States. Um, the end zone is a little bit shorter in the US, but the goalpost, the uprights, man, I love it in the back.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
you run and after you might get smacked into the goalpost. So,
Hopefully that's
but I have to
coming.
say, yeah,
What's
I'm
that
with
coming
them
in
on that.
2027? That change for the CFL?
oh, I can't wait.
I'm with him on that. Like, it's just like someone who, like, I haven't played much tackle football because I started late, and then I went
hmm
to a high school where
Yeah.
my program got cut off early on. Like, I played my grade 9 year, and then that was it. So, but as a guy who played the sport, I would have much rather preferred having the field goal post in the back of the end zone because even playing a
Mhm.
little, I played a little bit of flag football. I played some
Yeah.
receiver here. You're just always mindful of where that thing is. And then sometimes I feel like, at least for me, someone who's not a very good player, it hindered my performance. So I don't really blame you at all for
Yeah.
embracing that change because the traditionalist view in the country is wanting to keep everything that's Canadian about it. And I do understand that that's important to the national identity of the game.
hmm
There is something to be said about the potential room for growth and expansion of the CFL,
Yes.
but that's neither here and there. I want to ask you about the Asheville School.
The Asheville School. Man, I love this place. Like, I'm so glad. Like, thank you, God. Like, thank you, everybody that helped me get to the journey. But like, it's just like amazing. Like, it's very, like, I have to say, the academics are very good, and I'm so glad because, as like going like from Hamilton and then transitioning to North Carolina, it's like it's very different, especially because like a lot of people can't take that big jump because like mentally and physically like you're going to a whole nother system because the Canadian system like the Ontario program for school and stuff like that, and then I go all the way over here, you have to relearn a new system, which I
Yeah.
feel like that's good, and also at the same time like it's like, oh, like I gotta learn this again, but I feel like there's a difference. Like, I'm not trying to throw any shade on like the Canadian schools or like the Hamilton schools, but over here, like you can tell, like from like a classroom that's from like 30 students to like my classroom that's 10 students. There's a more one-on-one, which, that I need as a student athlete, and I can really get help so I can be on the top of my game academically and athletically. So
What's
that's
been the
why.
biggest surprises starting at Asheville?
I'd have to say, man, the people that we play, like we play against 5 stars,
Yeah.
we play against 3 stars. Like it's crazy the competition. Like Hamilton has that competition because I'm just gonna say it out there. Anybody in Canada, Hamilton is the best football. I promise you that. Nobody has better football than Hamilton. I have to say.
I
I
like
agree.
that. I like that a lot right there. But what drew you to Asheville? Like, how did this all come about? Going from Bishop Tonos to Asheville.
So I have a coach. He's been with my whole life. He's my uncle's best friend, and he really helped me out a lot. Like his name is Coach Bell, Curtis Bell. Have you guys heard of him?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. He helped me through the journey, getting me better and like for my grade 10 season, so I can actually show my talent. And then after, um, I met a guy named Justin Dillon from 730 Scouting that made me get over the border and stuff like that just to help me. And we chose Asheville School because I think it was the best fit. And also Sean Bryson, which is my coach, my running back coach, played in the NFL, played at Tennessee. He's been helping me a lot with my running back journey.
I like that. That's pretty solid, and
Yeah.
it's got to be a little bit of a culture shock at the same time. Playing, especially like I know Hamilton has great competition, but when you're
Hmm.
playing against five stars, guys already ranked that are going to go to big D1 programs, that's got to be the biggest culture shock to
Yeah.
you, right?
Yes. Very big culture shock. It's crazy. I never seen like we played at a D2 college in Lenora Ryan, the University of Lenora Ryan. Man, it was crazy. Like it looked like a D1. And that's D2. Like I'm like, wow. And we played there. It was a good game. We played against very good competition. I played linebacker and running back. No, linebacker and defensive end that game. So I threw the switch. So yeah, it
What
was
was that
amazing.
like playing defensive end in that game?
Um, I hope my coaches are not watching this, but it was hell, I'd have to say. Because when you got a 6'6", 300-pound guy grabbing you every time, it's. I'm a big guy, like I'm a stocky guy, what people say, but when you have a monster grabbing you and you're trying to get to the quarterback, man,
Wow.
it was hell.
Let's
Yeah.
let's talk about you recently just went on an unofficial visit to UNC, the Tar Heels.
Yes,
How was
sir.
that experience this past weekend?
It was amazing. It was like unreal, like wow, like you look at the baby blue in the stands. It was like as soon as you walk in, everybody was so nice, the coaching staff. Um, it was amazing. Like I'm still shocked. It's crazy.
How
So,
was it meeting Bill Belichick?
oh man.
It was unreal. When you shake a guy's hand that has 8 Super Bowls, it's gonna be really, really, really crazy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But he was a chill guy. I really liked him. Uh, we talked a little bit, but we didn't talk too much because there's a lot of people that wanted to meet him. But I'd have to say I'd most definitely go on a visit back again to
So you like to
UNC.
hear.
How
Yes.
far are you guys from the University of North Carolina?
We are 3 hours and 30 minutes away.
Okay, I see. I see. And from what I gather, this isn't your first visit?
No, this is not my first visit. This is my second visit. I'm very happy to make it my second visit.
Your first
Um,
visit was Liberty. How was
that's
that
right.
Yes,
experience?
it was very, very good. I really like the coaching staff. We went on a game visit, so we get to see the team and stuff like that, warming up. It's just a whole different level from like U Sport to D1. It's just like a whole different level. Like you see all like your guys and stuff like that, but it's like there's just a little bit more of like these guys are more hungrier at the D1 level, and that's what I like to see.
So, let's take it a little bit back to high school. When
Hmm.
when you when did you make the decision to come to Asheville School? Like, when did you decide that this was the right fit for you in your next step as a journey to becoming a collegiate athlete?
So it kind of hurts me a little bit. I think it was after the championship game, and like I was like, I already knew that whatever school I went to, like I knew it was going to be the best fit. Like I already know I was going over to the States. Like I didn't really tell anybody. like only my family, and like my coaches. And then like as soon as it got out there, like I was a little bit emotional because moving away from home is like it's not for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but it
Yeah.
was very unreal.
What other schools were you looking at over there in the States?
I was looking at some schools from Connecticut, just stay in that area, like close to home, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Florida, Georgia, like just a couple of schools.
And Asheville was your fit, and look at that, eh? That's pretty
Yeah, no, right here. I'm
special.
repping it right here. Asheville School, baby.
How did the season go this year for you guys?
Oh, it went good. We lost in the state championship, sadly, but we'll be back there next year, obviously, because we're the three-time champs, so
Look at
have to
that,
stay
eh?
with.
Let's go. Let's go. Nick,
So
you got it.
Yeah.
this was your first season at Asheville, right? This past
Yes,
year?
it was. Yes, it was.
Give me your favorite memory playing in the game in your first season there.
I'd have to say the game against, I think it was Covenant Day where I scored my first football. I mean my first touchdown. It was I was I was like crazy and like my mom like I used to bug my mom about it. I'm like, "Mom, your phone's ringing." I just go like, because it would be like, and then she's like, "Oh, where's my phone? Where's my phone?" And then that was like my celly for like the first time. I'm like, "Somebody's calling your phone." I go, Nah, man. And it's in my Instagram post of me going like this. That was one of the home games that one of our photographers took for us.
How
How is
many,
it? Oh
how
yeah, so
many,
yeah, you asked.
I was just gonna say, how many fans do you get at your games?
We don't get a lot because we're a boarding school, so we'll probably get like some of like the students and then some of the parents and then some outside people, but nothing crazy. But if we play like a big school, like our rival school, Christ School, we will get their side, their parents, even like visitors, college coaches, just everybody's there. Like we'll probably have like more than like 200, I think.
So that's sweet
Not a
right there.
lot.
Doesn't matter
Yeah.
about who's in the stand, just matters if you do your job on the field for those college scouts over
Yes,
there.
sir. Yes,
But
sir.
yeah, you're saying you guys are going to be back next season in the States.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. That's what we like to hear. The
Yeah.
confidence through the roof. I got to ask you though, that what was your biggest moment this season? Was it scoring a touchdown or was it I saw you pick up a fumble recovery to the house too.
Yes.
What was the biggest moment of the year?
The biggest moment of the year was when I got my first touchdown, but I would have to say just being in a running back room that, like I didn't have that BT, like everybody was like at BT, everybody said like, oh yeah, it was just G, but even having more than just G. It's like all my running backs, like we were all good friends. We had a great time in a room, and they were amazing at like they're amazing athletes. It's just learning from the seniors and my juniors this year, and also learning from an NFL running back. So that's what I
Yeah.
feel like the
Yeah,
greatest thing that happened to
that's
me.
pretty
Yeah.
special right there. What does the day to day look like for you in football season, during football season?
During football season, are we talking in school or like fall camp?
Let's go in school.
Okay, in school, depending if our coaches be nice to us. Our strength conditioning coach, Coach Harger. I love that guy. He's the best. We'll probably have some morning workouts. Like it'll be maybe like 6:30 till like 7:30, and then 7:30 is like breakfast, and then from 7:30 to 8:30, that's like time I get ready, and then 8:30 is like my first class, and then from 8:30 to like 11, like 30, it's lunch, and then after that we're going to the end of the day, and then the end of the day is our conference period. It's like where you after school, like if you're missing something or if you need help on extra credit or if like you need to talk to your teacher about something, you would go to a conference period, which is 45 minutes. And then from 3:15 to 3:30, you got to be in the weight room for another lift. And then that's like until like 4. And then 4 is like we're on the field, we're getting stretched, like we're stretching out. and then we get right into practice, and then we're there till like 6, maybe 6:30,
Wow.
and then we got study hall. We got study hall, man.
That that's a long day, but how do you juggle your academics? Make sure you gotta keep tabs on the GPA over there to get into a ginormous
Yes,
school over
sir.
there in the
Yes,
States.
sir.
But how do you juggle all that? Being an athlete, multiple two. Are you playing two sports over there? Or are you playing basketball also?
No, sadly, I didn't play basketball this year.
But yeah, but still, being a
Um,
two-sport
yeah.
athlete, how do you juggle all that?
We have a thing called Learning Center. It's like a resource center. It's for like where all of our student athletes go to get the extra support because we're mandatory like a free period, so like we don't have to have class. But I filled that with Learning Center so I can get my work done before study hall. So I don't have so much stress on my back that like, oh, I gotta catch up with an assignment and everything. Like it's just like I'll take my time on this because I have it during the day, and then after at night I'll say, let's say math I'll do at night instead of doing chemistry or history. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're on top of the academics and performing
Yes.
on the field. Nick, what do you got?
Well, just being like the student athlete at a boarding school like that, you're used to 12-hour days pretty frequently, aren't you?
Yeah, some of them are sometimes even longer. Like I'd have to say when we got to like test days or like big unit tests, like I would probably sometimes like stay up to like 2 in the morning just to like
Wow.
really get it done. And then after, like morning lift, like I'd have to email my coach like before morning lift saying like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I can't make it. I can't make it because I didn't get really that like enough sleep for me to, go be my best."
Yeah, there's not a lot of other high schoolers your age who are like you are, my friend. I'm just
Yeah.
being honest with you. That is,
Especially making the jump from Canada and
yeah.
playing
Yeah.
in the States. Not really, you don't really see many people do that.
Yes.
Um, I've been around a lot of high level athletes when I do my time at the Canada's
Hmm.
football chat prospect game. But I gotta say, you have a great head on your shoulders, man. Like you have
Thank you so
great
much. I
mind.
appreciate it.
Yeah, you have a great mindset. Nick, what else you got?
Oh, it's just to add on to that. Like you just seem like a tremendous young man. And I honestly, I can't wait. I really can't wait to see what you do. I really can't wait.
Thank you so much.
I want to ask you two last questions.
Yes, sir.
The first one is where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I would see myself at a university playing football, and I'm gonna major in sports management.
Ah,
Sweet, there
let's
you
Get in that
go.
go.
sports.
And my last question for you is
Yes, sir.
if you could throw a prediction out there and have that prediction come true for how your upcoming football season is going to go, would you want, let's say, I don't know how many games you play. Let's say, would you want like a thousand
Yes.
yard rushing season, obviously a state title? What if you could throw that out there into the ether and just say, I want this and it's going to happen?
Yes.
What would that be for your upcoming season, John Luca?
For my upcoming season, I do have goals set on my wall. So let me just read them. So like 1,000 yards all purpose, like plus 1,000 yards, 15 touchdowns. And then for my personal goals, like outside of like that football stuff, um, a 4.5 40, 275 power clean, 300 bench press, and 500 pound squat.
Wow.
So
There we
those are
go.
Good
There
for
we
you.
those are the
go.
goals.
Good for
Those are
you.
great. Those are great goals to have. Um, I gotta ask you this. You can answer it. If not, top five schools that you want to go to.
Oh, hold on. Let me get it. Hold on.
Like
I'd have to go my number one, my dream school,
Penn State.
Oh, he's a Big Ten
Penn.
guy like me.
Man, Big Ten's the best football. I don't care what anybody says. Um,
Let's
I'd
go.
probably have to say Rutgers. I really like. Um, what else? This is a hard question. Syracuse. I really like their environment and what they're doing with the program now. UNC, obviously, and what other school? I gotta think. Probably
Take your
Toledo.
Toledo. All right.
Toledo, eh?
Yeah.
Wow. You know who went to Toledo for one season, I believe?
Who?
The current head coach of the Western Mustangs, Michael Falls.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
he actually went to the States for one season, and then he came back
It's
to Canada,
crazy.
and he had that career at Western. But yeah,
Wow.
man, that's wonderful. Thank you for joining. Absolutely, like this is
No
just
problem.
the best possible outcome of this interview that we could all have hoped for. And you just seem
Yes.
the best guy. And I've known who you are, like from a football point of view, but now I
Hmm.
feel like I know who you are from like a human point of view. And really, I can't help but say like I hope for the best for you, and I know it's going to come because you're one of
Thank
those
you.
people that makes things happen, and there's not a lot of people out like that out there. So
Yeah.
keep doing your stuff. I'll be following, and yeah, first player I'll play as when you get into college football. Would it be like 29? Gianluca Frangipane right there.
Yes, sir.
I gotta ask you one more
Um,
question before we end
yes,
this.
sir.
Sorry. We need some advice from you. What advice would you give people kind of similar in your shoes that want to make the transition from Canada to the States? What advice would you give them?
I'd have to say, like, I have it back home, and it's like the sign, just do it. Like, no matter, like, if the odds are all stacked against you, like, if everybody's hating on you or you're going through something, just probably talk to somebody about it and just try to get their opinion and just try to, like, be positive about everything and not go negative because, once you're negative, you can't really think right. And I'd have to say, if you want to do something, do it 100% or don't do it at all. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
like that. I like that a lot. But thank you for coming on. That's Gianluca
thank you.
Frangipane, running back and a linebacker for the Asheville School in North Carolina. You guys are going to see him on Saturdays shortly in a couple of years.
Thank you so much. Is that all right if I say something?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, take it away. Yeah.
Yeah, can we I just want to say thank you God for the opportunity and everything. I'd have to say thank my coaches at BT and BT for helping me through my journey. And I have to say thank you for Golden Bell Academy for accepting who I am. And thank you, Justin Dillon. And thank you, Coach Bryson and Dr. Scro for accepting me into the Asheville School and the community. Thank you guys so much. And I have to say, thank you, National Playmakers Academy, for helping me out and promoting me in the States. Thank you, Buck Fitzgerald. Thank you, Jackson Rose. Thank you, Hunter Dino. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
And
And
also
thank
thank
you
you
guys.
God for his
Thank
football
you, brother.
ability.
Thank
Yes, sir.
you.
I thank you guys. Thank you so much. You guys are the best, man. I'm so happy.
We
Come back
appreciate
anytime,
you.
bro.
We appreciate you. Well, have a great night, and we'll hear from. So that was Gianluca. You guys heard a little bit of his story at how he's at the Asheville School for Football, a boarding school there in North Carolina. A tremendous young man. But we could continue this conversation. Nick, do you want to talk anything about that interview that we just did, or do you want to go right back into this conversation?
Yeah, I've known him for a bit, as I said in the interview. He's just a wonderful guy. He's got the right head on his shoulders, and I just can't help but believe in him. And I just know that he's going to accomplish all his dreams, and I know he's gonna do what he has set out to do by going to the Asheville School. And I just can't help but root for him, and I think he's a tremendous young man. And keep watch out for him on Saturdays.
From Hamilton, Ontario, Gianluca. But let's get back to this Italian conversation. We have 9 minutes or 7 minutes remain or 8 minutes remaining.
Yeah.
But we're gonna wrap this conversation up soon because I do want to talk about one thing, and it's Toronto Maple Leafs firing their general manager last night. That'll take a minute.
This is the
But yeah,
stupidest news of the last 24 hours. That's why I wore this here because Italy didn't make the World Cup. I'm wearing this in show of the Maple Leafs hopefully doing the right thing and tanking.
yes, and they can't tank properly. They won yesterday, and then now their chances of getting a top five pick goes to I think less than 3%. But this Italy national team, let's continue this. It is so tough and it's so frustrating. Because the last time they won a World Cup was '06. The last time we've seen them in a World Cup. Last time I saw them in a World Cup, I was in grade 5. I was in the fifth grade. I was young, young. And then I remember I was watching the game where Suarez bit Chiellini. I was in my nono's um in my nono's living room watching the game, absolutely shocked on what happened there. And then now being 23 years old and I haven't seen Italy in a World Cup. I went through the rest of elementary school, went through high school, a 12B or two, and college, and still have not been able to see Team Italy in the World Cup in my adult years. That I actually have a conscious brain that I can literally remember instead of YouTube highlights, and that's the worst part, and it's the most frustrating thing. But I could say this: once Italy makes it back, once Italy goes finishes off this rough part of just, being a stinker, a bottom feeding team. And I can't believe I'm saying that. I can't believe that just came out of my mouth. Bottom feeder team. That's where the point we're at right now. Disagree with that, but that's literally what we're at right now, with the Italy national team. But once they get out of this rut, it's been a long rut.
Been a long
But
time,
once
man.
it's been a long time, but once it happens, and once they hoist the World Cup trophy again, and hopefully, I still have a conscious brain. Hopefully, I'm not 100 years old and living, vicariously. Um, Hopefully, I could see Italy lift the World Cup trophy, but it's going to feel 10 times better once they do. And I do think that the players just showing their emotions, how upset they were, I think that that's what you like to see because this is the defeat, and this team is young. It's not the youngest, but it's young. They'll be back for the next qualifiers, and Donnarumma is on a mission. He better be upset. He better. I don't care if he punches a teammate in the face, he slaps somebody, he does anything in that locker room because he deserved it. He played a tremendous game today, Donnarumma. I want to say it was the best game that I've seen him play since the Euros, for Italy. He's actually had great success with his club teams, but that performance today, save after save after save, they let him down. His teammates let him down, and they just couldn't get the job done. There wasn't
Yeah.
much for him to do at the end of the day. So if he's, they better come out firing next qualifiers in a year, in 2 years actually, because then it's Euros times.
Euros.
Yeah, then you start prepping for the Euros. Everything better be different coming out of missing this World Cup because three straight missing the World Cup is embarrassing to your country and to your players and the federation itself. And nobody wants to be an embarrassment. But Italy right now in this day, they are an embarrassment to themselves.
Yeah, they got a psychological issue, like I brought up on last show, that they're still dealing with. And this, if anything, exacerbates it because it felt going into the game like they could do it. And I was fairly confident that they would because I felt like they were just going to say enough with the past and then just get it on and win the damn game. But the red card happened, which changed everything. The momentum completely went into Bosnia's favor. Italy created minimal chances from there on out in terms of regulation play. They Moise Ken had a chance. He skied it. You had Politano and DeMarco trying to whip crosses into the box. You just mostly kept seeing Italian players getting dispossessed quite easily, and then Bosnia would build up an attack. And then towards the end of regulation, as the younger players were brought on, you started to see a spark of emotion, like Esposito, Palestra, and then even the other player I had him in my mind. I can't think of him. I have a list up right now. I'm
Yeah,
trying
that's
to,
okay.
but I couldn't.
We'll be talking about this probably for the rest of 2 weeks as the World Cup approaches. The World
Yeah,
Cup conversation will be on our show for a long time. But I also think it's time to let the egos down, let the loyalty down to your older age players, and let the young guns go. Give them free reign. Let those young guys go. Let the 19, 20-year-olds. If you got a great 17-year-old, let them play. Let them go. Three straight World Cup misses is as embarrassing as it goes. If you miss a fourth, I don't even know what you do if you miss a fourth World Cup.
well, who
Not,
cares? They already have the record for the most consecutive World Cups that
yeah,
they missed out on for a team that's actually won the thing before. Three.
Yeah, yeah. So it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Give the younger players free reign. Fix the system. Drop your egos. You have a developmental issue. You want to know why they have a developmental issue? They don't play these young guns consistent minutes. And with the senior team, with the first team, they don't do that. You got the U20 team for Italy is great. You just don't see much about it. People don't hear about it much. But I like to say they have a lot of good talent. And if you're just like I don't know, like you gotta let them play. Just let them play now. There's no harm in trying them out. Yes, you're gonna be disloyal to some players, but you're gonna have to be. These type of guys are the reason why you guys have missed another World Cup. And it's time to, you know what? You guys all suck. Just say it. They all suck. They all suck. Everyone could say it. This team, this guys, these squads, Italy sucks. They have to go in a brand new way. Brand new, brand new, brand new. And you know what that could start with? Let these kids take the reins and set them free and let them play throughout all their mistakes. Because I bet if they're in the same situation in 4 years' time, blow up the whole blow up the whole federation. I don't know what you can do next, but we do. I say one more thing, and then we're gonna go to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Um, I I just can't believe it happened. I didn't think it was gonna happen. I don't know if that's because I just was hoping that it wouldn't, but it's just astonishing to me that a team of this caliber, in terms of the all-time footballing nations, Italy's is up there with the best of them. Only Brazil has won more World Cups than Italy. And for them to miss three straight tournaments is it's a big example of exactly where the federation and Italian soccer development is as a whole. And I think that this project, if they are going to want to qualify for Morocco in 2030, they need to get to work now.
Yep,
And
yep.
part of that, and I'm not saying that if they don't do this, that all hope is over and we're going to miss out on qualifying for 2030, but it would definitely help a lot is if Italy was somehow able to make it to at least the semifinal of Euro 28, showing the rest of the world that they can go far in a big name tournament with a lot of the players that they still had from this current era that we are in. That's all I have to really say for now.
And
Uh,
I agree with you. Euros is going to be the next test for the Italians. Sucks that they're not in the World Cup. Hopefully, they can get their stuff and their issues figured out between Euros 2028 and now. But the job starts now. If you are the manager, they're going to keep Gaito on.
I'm not gonna pick a new team.
Yeah, yeah. The job starts now. Get ready for 2028 Euros. But a look ahead for the World Cup, Canada, Bosnia, June 12th at BMO Field in Toronto. That is going to be tremendous. But I want to talk about one more thing, but then we're going to end it off. The Toronto Maple Leafs have fired general manager Brad Treliving last night, late last night, actually, super late last night. They played at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time last night against the Anaheim Ducks. Thank you for Max Domi stepping up and taking care of business with Ratko Gudas. And Domi actually got in two fights, so that was tremendous. Sucks that the Toronto Maple Leafs won last night because they can't even tank properly. But Brad Treliving had to go after that embarrassing effort at the trade deadline. Excited to see what the Toronto Maple Leafs do next. This is what I gotta say about the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think they are going to be clearing house. I think Craig Berube is out of town. I love him. I think he's a great coach. I think he's a tremendous coach. I think the guys that they have in that locker room are weak mentally. That Craig Berube is going to get fired, even though Craig Berube, on paper, and I honestly think he was the best coach that Toronto has had. Um, they're just weak mentally. The team's just they're a bunch of soft players, the Toronto Maple Leafs. They have a bunch of softies, crybabies, um, on their roster. But I do think they're going to clear house. So I think they're going to be a lot of big decisions made in the offseason. And I think it's officially you can move away from the retooling phase to the rebuilding phase. Officially, I'm saying it. They are officially in a rebuild, and it is going to take some time. The golden year, the golden years, the golden era of the Toronto Maple Leafs is officially over. Brad Treliving getting fired last night is just the start of it. They are blowing it up this offseason, and next season won't be anything special. They will also be missing the playoffs. If they somehow make the playoffs, they will be a first round exit. In this golden era, they've only won two series, both first round series. Once that came last year against the Ottawa Senators, and they're a weak team, Ottawa. And then the Tampa Bay Lightning with that iconic call. They finally caught lightning in a bottle, and then they just couldn't get over the hump of the second round. The Toronto Maple Leafs era finished, complete, finito, done. But we got to end this show. We'll see you guys again Friday. But I'm Daniel Federico. That's Nick Tazio, and this has been the Daniel Federico Show. Ciao.
Oh.